Morning everyone, and welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we discuss all things entrepreneurship and running. It is a fresh morning again, about 1 degree out here today, so still wintry conditions even though we're into March, but not too breezy, so again, can't complain. And it is Tuesday Tactics today, and where we discuss all things business systems and outsourcing, and today's topic is Asana Forms. So, as always, if you like this episode, please give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, Asana Forms, what are they? Okay, well, if you've had any experience with Google Forms, they are basically the Asana equivalent. So, Asana is project management software. It's software that you use to manage tasks and projects and working with and collaborating with others. Now, if you've not used Google Forms before, I won't go into too much description about it, but basically, forms are a standardised way of capturing data. And what you can do in Asana or Google Forms, but both is very applicable, is you can create a form to capture data in a standardised way. So for example, if you would go out and say, right, you need to go and do a property viewing, and you tell someone to go and do that, they could go and do that and they'd have a process they'd follow, but it would probably be highly different or to what you would want them to do when they're going to a viewing. Whereas you give them a form to fill out, they'll go through in a logical process and go through all the questions that you stipulate in the form to capture the data that you require on that particular viewing. So that's kind of how you can kind of understand the power of a form. It's getting data filled in a standardised manner. Now you can create these forms. Now Google Forms are a kind of free tool that's offered in the kind of the Google suite of apps, and it's only recently that Asana has created it. And what that does, it's super powerful, because previously when we'd use Google Forms is you'd create a form for people to fill in, and you can set the form out with lots of different kind of parameters and rules that you want. You can kind of have it following a process where you can have branches, etc. So if somebody answers X to a question, so for example, you could have a question that says, does the property have a second reception room? And if it does, it then opens up a load of questions related to a second reception room, where if you said no, it would miss that section of the form out. So you can play around with the form and have lots of different ways to capture the data. So you can have just empty kind of text boxes where people can type stuff in. You can have the ability for somebody to add photos or video footage, which is always really useful. You could have a number-based field whereby only numbers can be added. You can have drop downs where people can select, predefined options, which is again useful to standardise things. You can have check boxes so people can select multiple variants of an answer. So there's loads of things you can kind of do with the form setup. But ultimately, what it will do is it will capture information in a standardised way. Now, where it becomes super powerful with Asana is that Asana is task management software, and it was only till relatively recently, when Asana released Asana Forms, I was always using Google Forms, which were fine, but what you've got Google Forms capturing information, and then the data is captured then in a spreadsheet format, and you then have to use that information from a spreadsheet and process it in Asana if you're assigning kind of tasks around the outcomes of the form that's completed. So where it becomes super powerful now that Asana have released this is that people can fill out these forms and it automatically populates the data in Asana and creates a new task, which is really powerful because, for an example, if you're doing a maintenance checklist, in the old process of using Google Forms is any maintenance defects would be captured and photographed in the form, But you would then have to get that data from a spreadsheet into your task management software in order to action that repair. Now all of a sudden it comes directly into your project management software, and you can assign out that task, which has got all the form information in, to somebody straight away. With custom automation you can do it automatically, and that's all housed within your kind of operations hub of your business, which is your project management software. So I know that doesn't sound, it's quite difficult to explain whilst vlogging, but the efficiency that creates, taking a whole step out of the process, is huge. And it just means that task management is all kept within one place. So this is such an important tool for me and my property business in particular, because we might have people do viewings. Okay, when people do viewings, we need to capture enough information that allows us to estimate a cost of renovation. And we can ask certain information about a house and get that information captured that allows us to make that estimate more accurate, i.e., can you confirm the make and the model of the boiler? Well, rather than fill that information in, they can take a photo, and that's stored into our task management software. So instantly we can look and say, yeah, that boiler's old or it's new, you know, maybe it needs replacing, maybe it doesn't, but you can get that information to be able to make that assumption rather than not know it at all. You can also have kind of questions that will you know, so if you've got field-based members of staff, whenever you're going out doing a property inspection, you can pick up maintenance issues proactively rather than waiting for tenants to report a maintenance issue. So in that regard, you're proactively keeping on top of the maintenance as opposed to reactively, because you've got this very simple form. The good thing about the form as well, they can be shared by link. So if you've got somebody in the field, all they need is a smart device, a smartphone or a tablet, and they can use that link, and every time they go somewhere, click the link, it opens a form, and they can fill it in from their smart device, which makes it super powerful, because all of a sudden, you know, you go back in the days of like your British gas engineers of having their own specialised PDAs, you know, remember those kind of bespoke handheld touchscreen devices that they used to use to capture information, brings it back in. Now anybody with a smart device can do the same, and you can set up, you know, the forms and the standardization side of things super easily. So it's game changing for businesses where you've got field-based operatives and you need to capture information. It's also really useful for things like tenant inquiries. So if you've got customers wanting to apply for something or inquire about something, they can fill in a simple form, and again, that can then populate a task in Asana and automatically be assigned to the relevant person to process. So, you know, sometimes if you're relying on email, for example, for inquiries, you know, you might not check your email all the time, and you then have to transfer the information from the email across to your task management software to be able to process that email. But now all of a sudden, inquiries can come into Asana directly, and it can be automatically assigned to the person to drive that inquiry forward in real time. So again, you've got this automation that is like real time, you know, real time occurrence, which is huge. And often with new customers or inquiries that come in, the speed in which you respond to them can greatly enhance the conversion rates. So again, really, really cool way of kind of using forms into your task management software. So, you know, if I was summarising this episode, forms are a way of capturing information in a standardised way. Okay, so when it's standardised, you can report on it, you can use the data to kind of drive decisions more effectively. By bringing standardised information into your task management software, you can follow up or process anything that's required far more easily and efficiently because it's already in your task management software, rather than capturing the data somewhere else and then having to migrate it across into your task management software so that somebody actions upon it. So Asana Forms, you can have lots of flexibility with how you set them up. You can make them extremely complex or extremely simple depending on the complexities of what you need. So you've got multiple options in how you set up each question. You can set up individual sections that some people need to answer, some people don't need to answer. And it's really, it's game changing for a business, especially if you've got inbound inquiries or if you've got field-based operatives that need to capture information for you. So you can proactively send your team out to capture the information, or you can have people filling out inbound inquiries. I mean, we have a form for our investors to fill out all their information when they sign up to purchase one of our deals in our deal packaging business. And what that enables us to do is to capture all the information at the beginning rather than having to chase them for it further down the line. So again, and it's all standardised, so it's super easy to kind of use. So hopefully that's useful. If you've got any questions on this stuff, just drop me a comment and I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I'll do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. If this is irrelevant to you, no drama, just unfollow me. It will stop cluttering up your social feeds. But do check out the link in my bio where you can access the YouTube channel, the soon-to-be-released blog, and the soon-to-be-released podcast, where you can basically obtain the information from the vlog in video, audio, or the written text format. So hopefully it fits with your way of capturing information. And everything's also catalogued nice and neatly by topic. So just because today's episode may not be relevant, there may be other episodes that are very relevant. So please do check that out. And all that's left to say is that the Runpreneur blog was set up to help entrepreneurs and business owners overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, or in my case running, as a release valve to process those daily pressures, weekly pressures in the form of stress, and process them, analyse them, clear them from your head so you keep focused, keep clarity, and you can move on to bigger and better things. The people that don't have that release valve, those pressures can build up, and the stresses can turn to overwhelm. The overwhelm can turn into anxiety, which we're then venturing into the world of panic attacks, mental health related challenges, which we want to avoid at all costs. Now, I've been there, okay, I've lost multiple businesses because of my inability to manage these emotions. I've lost multiple business partners, and I've almost been bankrupt because of this. So, and it's no coincidence that in the last kind of 8 to 9 months of run vlogging, which is my release valve, I've made more progress than I have in the previous 4 years. So hopefully there's enough social proof there to show you that this stuff really works. And my pledge to you is that if you are someone struggling with these emotions, just drop me a message, okay? There's no catch here. I'll jump on a quick call and I'll hopefully give you some information about the steps that I've taken in my life that have made a massive difference, that are hopefully transferable to you in your life. And many of you have taken me up on this already, and I know we've made some really positive differences to many entrepreneurs' lives. As I always said, if this vlog just saves one entrepreneur or saves one business, it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile. So don't be stubborn, reach out. The help is often available and it doesn't cost anything if you're just prepared to ask. So all that's left to say is that if you like this episode, please give it a like, comment and a subscribe. If you want to check out similar content, check out the playlist link. And all that's left to say is stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.